Today's topic I want to make about becoming a better you. Kind of continuing off my last episode, episode 5, where I was talking about, Generation Z is the best generation. We have all these downfalls, but we also have positive sides. I'm kind of going to bounce more off that and go more into like how to help yourself, how to better yourself in like today's world and become a better you, because there's a lot of things that I struggle with personally, and there's a lot of things that have helped me overcome those obstacles. And why not just share it with the world? Try to help other people out. The first point I wanted to talk to you guys about today was get rid of this thing right here. Now get rid of it. Huh? I'm being for real. Put this down, unless you're watching me on it. Put this down, put it away. Rest of the podcast. I think one of the biggest issues that all of our problems can stem from, all the anxiety stems from, is just our phones, just our cellular devices. I mean, it depends on the type of person that you are. Social media is one of the biggest anxiety-inducing things that we have on our phone, technology we have available today. Just think about it. If you are at a point in a conversation where the conversation is getting awkward or it's getting a little dry, what's like the first thing you do? Oh, you get in your pocket, you whip out your phone, and you just start like interacting with people that aren't even in your situation right now. Because I know for me personally, that's been a big issue in my life. I didn't have a phone until I was at least like 12. But that was one of those free like Obamacare phones. Even then, I wasn't even addicted to my phone. I wasn't even ever on it. I was actually embarrassed to pull it out in school, because what kid wants to be seen with a flip phone in 6th grade in this generation? Not me. I was too scared to pull it out ever. I would go to the bathroom and like text my mom if I had to. But it was around like 7th or 8th grade where I actually got my first real phone. So it took a long time before I actually was able to be introduced to this technology. And I know by that time, a lot of us already had that addiction going where we're always on our phones. We can't live without it. We're always just on it. And it wasn't like that for me for a very long time. Even in 8th grade, when I actually had a phone, I would never pull it out in school. I would never, ever even think about pulling it out. Pause. Don't take that out of context. And in 9th grade too, I had never pulled out my phone. I was too scared I was going to get in trouble. I think that was when schools were restricting it more because a lot more things were on paper. My phone didn't have much of an impact on me growing up, but I know obviously that's different for everybody. People get phones when they're like 7 years old, and that starts really early on. It's a bad thing. And now we can all see the impact our phones have on us, right? I'm pretty sure I read a study. I'll link the article in the description. I hate to bring up so many facts. Like, I wish I brought up more stories, but interesting. Like, apparently the average American teenager spends 5 to 8 hours on their phone every single day. Every day, bro. That's a lot of time. And we always wonder like, I don't have enough time to do this, or I wish I had more time in the day to be doing what I want to do. In reality, you have that time. You're just not realizing where you're putting it at. And so one of the first big steps you can take to taking more control in your life is reducing your screen time, and maybe even taking your phone away entirely. I know that's crazy to say. It's very hard to live without our phones. We have our whole contacts on there, and it's kind of necessary today. I guess my point is social medias are really impactful. There's so many harmful things that come from social media. All the cyberbullying that comes from it, all the comparisons that we give ourselves. Because back in the day, it was a lot harder to compare yourself. You either had to get a magazine and see somebody on it, or you had to like watch a TV advertisement about it. And honestly, I don't think a lot of people were comparing themselves too much. Now we have that social media where we can access any famous person. We can always just compare ourselves, like, why do I not look that good, or why I look so ugly compared to this person? And that's just standards that society sets for people, when in reality everybody has their own beauty, and everybody needs to find that within themselves in order to truly get over their obstacles of insecurity, of self-hatred. All those things are holding us back, and all of that is due to social media or our phones in general. And it's just a very addicting technology. Another bad thing about it is doom scrolling. Like if you're on TikTok and just infinitely scrolling on it, or Instagram Reels or anything like that, even Instagram stories or Facebook stories, we get sucked into things that aren't truly important to our days. Maybe it's important in the sense of feeling connected to the world. I had a teacher like in high school talk about this too. It's like, it's hard to get off our phones because we lose that sense of connectedness. We lose that sense of being in the now. If you're off social media for a month, you've missed out on a month's worth of whatever's going on in the world. You can still get that from news, you can still get that from other platforms, but your favorite celebrity, you're not really gonna know what's going on with. Your friends, you might miss a few important stories. At the end of the day, would you rather have a better mentality, a better mindset, and better self-control, or know what your friends are doing at all times when you can just text them? I'm very hypocritical because I'm still on my phone. I'm not gonna lie, but this is more in a sense of to help you guys out a lot more, and I definitely will take more of my own advice. Social media and our phones in general, not very good. From a business standpoint, if you guys are pursuing something online, try and restrict your social medias to on your computer. I've been using Instagram on my computer a lot more than on my phone now. TikTok doesn't work on my Wi-Fi, so I have to go on my phone, but I've stopped scrolling TikTok completely. I just realized how sucked in we get. And I was watching this video too. If I find the video link, I'll put it in the description. But it was this guy talking about how just taking a dopamine detox has helped him out a lot. I've really taken inspiration from that. I'm not doing the detox myself like 100% right now, but just taking the smaller aspects of it. Like, okay, I'm off TikTok now. Okay, I've stopped scrolling Instagram Reels. That has been already really helpful, helping me save time throughout the day. It just produces that bad dopamine that makes us more lazy, that gives us that instant gratification, that gives us all that anxiety and stress. Like, why am I not doing good numbers on Instagram? Like, why am I not looking as good as I should? Why is this filter make me look so ugly? All these horrible things that wouldn't have even started if you just were off your phone to begin with. And so if you really are struggling, this is one of the best steps you can probably take to help yourself improve on your mentality, your mindset, all these important things that do truly matter to us. And I'm pretty sure also in China, I'm pretty sure TikTok is only allowed for like a certain amount of time throughout the day. Like, I think they shut off TikTok at a certain time. Imagine they did that here. Oh my, there would be actually riots in like DC. People would actually be so mad if there was restrictions on our technology. I guess it would be kind of bad too, because like, if I wanted to YouTube late at night, hey, why are you shutting off my stuff, bro? I guess that's also a good thing maybe for them, because they're probably off all their technology a lot more. I guess it maybe helps them. So don't feel bad if I'm calling you out in this podcast either. This is just truly take what you need from this podcast. There's going to be little like timestamps in the description, so if you need to jump around, okay? If you already do some of these things, I want you to listen, because you know it's me, you know, why wouldn't you want to listen to me? But if you need certain things from this video, I'm going to be talking about like at least 10 different things that I'm pretty sure could help everybody out. Just keep watching. All right, this next point I got is we need to organize ourselves better, organize our weeks better. Have you ever had just like a random thought in your head whenever you're trying to go to sleep? It's like you're dozing off and you're like, oh, I need to do that tomorrow. Instead of doing that every single night, keeping yourself up and just worrying about what you're going to do throughout the day, or just having something come up last second that you forgot about, I think it's really beneficial if we just plan our weeks out to begin with. Like, for me personally, I don't know if you just saw that spit fly out. Whoops. Again? Oh my... Whew, I gotta calm down. I never organized my weeks ever, and it's something I always wanted to do. I started in high school a little bit. I would write on my notes app what I have to do for the week and little checkmark boxes, but it's really hard to go through and check that every day, and it's hard because it's not notifying, so it really is a struggle for me. But something I found that helps out a lot in college was I was struggling so much with sleep, with trying to organize YouTube and schoolwork, and so I was finally at a point where I was looking for apps to use, and everybody was just not recommending me good apps, either apps I had to pay for or apps I was not looking for and for organization purposes. I was looking through all these videos. Everyone's like, don't use Notion. Notion's bad. You gotta set up. It takes so much time to set up. When in reality, Notion is the app I use right now. It's the best calendar app ever. Please sponsor me one day whenever I get more successful. But anyways, not sponsored right now. Notion is a really good organization app, note-taking app. I used it to organize my apartment hunting. I use it to organize my workout schedule. I use it to organize my YouTube. I use it to organize cleaning, meal prepping. Like, everything you could imagine can work on Notion. They have so many amazing things, and I'm not saying that just to promote them. It's in a sense of like, if you guys need help planning out your days or anything like that. Maybe I should get away from my microphone. If you guys need help planning out your days more, or you need more organization help, Notion is a really good tool to use. They have calendar, they have to-do lists, they have everything you could need. And so for me personally, that worked out really well because I can put my schoolwork in there and I can make a separate page for my YouTube stuff. So once I started doing that, I realized I had such more like direction in my days, and I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to get accomplished. If you plan out your days, that gives us less time to lollygag, is the term I want to use. It gives us less time to just do things that aren't as important to our overall goal for the day. So getting on TikTok for a little bit or scrolling on YouTube. If you have time constraints throughout the day, you're going to be more on task with what you actually need to accomplish. So if 2 to 5, you need to edit a video, do homework, then 2 to 5, you're going to be doing that because that's the only time you set for yourself throughout the day. And then if you don't do that, then you're sacrificing whatever else you need throughout the day. I think in a sense, it also helps you stay more organized. It helps you get tasks done better. And for me personally, I just do this once a week. I do it on Sunday. You can do it per day. I think that does help too. It just depends on how drained you feel at the end of every day. If it's a tasking thing for you to do, just do it once a week and it should be still set up for you. We pretty much know what we need to do throughout the week. But yeah, it's just helped me personally organize what I need to be doing and not get distracted with other things that may come up in my life. And that brings me to routine and discipline. Do you guys wake up at 1 p.m. every single day? I don't, but I don't mean to call you out, but that is definitely not a good thing, and it's definitely hurting us more than helping us. Our brains already have that circadian rhythm, and it changes throughout the season. So whenever the sun is rising, our brain is more likely to wake up with the sun because we're used to that time being like, it's go time to wake up. I don't know how it is in Iceland because you guys have the sun up like 24/7, but here in the United States, we got the sun rising right now at like 6 or 7 in the morning, something like that, and it's setting at like 6 p.m. So if you don't have blackout curtains and you have that natural sunlight coming through, you're going to be more prude to waking up at, is that the right word? I don't know. You're going to be used to waking up at when the sun rises. But if you're sleeping in a lot and you stay up extremely late, well, that's not going to happen. You're not going to wake up with the sun. You're going to throw off your circadian rhythm. And that's not a good thing because it happens for a reason in our brains. Like, it's a natural response. So yeah, just trying to find a sleep schedule is very difficult. I understand like insomnia are a thing. I know that there's this method that the military uses. I don't know if they still use it, but if you guys want to try it, go ahead. But basically, you lay back in your bed and in your mind, you think about every single part from your head to your toes being completely relaxed muscles, not moving anything. Focus on one body part at a time, like your eyes slowly start to shut and then your arms slowly start to lose feeling and your fingers, they start to like, if you do that all throughout your body, just get everything off your mind, they can fall asleep in like 2 minutes is what the video I saw said. I'll link it in description if you guys want it. Obviously that's going to be hard at first and kind of unrealistic. Like, we're not in the military, we're just trying to sleep. I don't know, I guess for me, whenever I try and go to sleep, I just think about exciting things that could happen tomorrow, or I don't know, just I don't clear my mind that well. It's hard definitely too. I like to sleep. I'm one of those like side sleepers. I like to sleep on my side. I have a little stuffed animal in my arms. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little teddy bear wrapped up in my arms every night. I don't really know a good method to help you sleep, but I just know that if you can find a method to fall asleep, that will definitely help. And also then there's waking up. So waking up, it's good to wake up earlier just because of that circadian rhythm. You can get more done throughout the day if you are able to wake up early. If you're not an early bird, try and wake up early, but then take naps throughout the day. I think it's acceptable to take naps, especially if we don't get enough sleep. I always hated naps. I never ever napped before I met my girlfriend, and then she got me addicted to napping, so we can blame that on her. But I never used to nap. I hated napping. My mom's the same way. Like, we just thought it was so useless. But honestly now, if I don't get enough sleep during the night, I wake up drained. I just cannot do anything. I try and go just I put a little bit of effort into what I need to do throughout the day. And as soon as I can, I'll just be like, take a nap, Kai. Like, you need to reset. You need to reset because sleep is so detrimental, so important. In the first episode, I talked about my struggles with sleep and how I stayed up a lot and I was just always addicted to playing Minecraft. Like, if you want to go see that, please go check out the first episode. It was a very good episode too. After this one, But I was just very addicted to staying up. I was addicted to playing video games, all these horrible things that I think contributed to these bags in my eyes. Like, it's so prominent. You can see it so easily. I wish I could get rid of them, but it's there. It's locked in. They're grocery bags carrying like 70 pounds of weight right now. If you can do something productive at the start of your day, like making your bed or just meditating or showering or anything that is important to your day, it is best to do it like as soon as you wake up. That way, okay, you don't fall asleep again and you feel productive as soon as you wake up because you're doing a task that is kind of necessary for yourself. You're setting yourself up for success, basically. Also, in that dopamine detox video, I saw that the dude put his phone in the bathroom with like a loud alarm. So that way, whenever he wakes up, he has to physically get out of bed and go like turn off his alarm clock. And then after that point, you're kind of already waking up. Yeah, there's no point in putting a snooze back on and trying to go back to sleep. So if you really struggle with hitting the snooze button every single morning, just this could help you out a lot. Just putting your phone or whatever further away from your bed. Oh yeah, papa. But yeah, just taking that initiative to like make your bed in the morning or do something productive, increase your day and your mood so much. Okay, because I've also heard, I guess don't quote me on this because maybe it's not true, but depending on the mood you start with in your day affects the rest of your day. I'm not saying the mood can't change. Like obviously, if you win the lottery, you're gonna be freaking happy. But basically, if you start off your day bad and your day goes mundane, like how it normally goes, well, you're gonna have a bad day. You wake up late, or you just like don't do anything productive in the morning. You can feel like useless. You can feel really bad, and that can carry out through the rest of the day. Rather as you wake up in a good mood. Okay, I got this to do today. I'm gonna be so great. I'm gonna do these things, and I'm gonna make my bed. Feel productive. Okay, well then you feel more productive throughout the day. You feel you have a better day. That can really help out. Just having that like self-affirmation, I guess, too, really helps. Like just telling yourself, I'm the best. I'm gonna do this today. This is gonna work out great for me. Even just doing something in the morning to feel more productive. It'll help you out so much. It'll help you out a lot. For those people who do struggle waking up in the morning and are trying to find different routines for themselves, I have a YouTube video on my other channel, Short King Kai. Check that out after this video too. But I have a video of my 5 a.m. morning routine in high school versus college. In my high school one, it was pretty normal. Like I just got ready in the morning, I showered, I worked out, I ate breakfast, read a book. If you really do struggle waking up in the morning, there is things that you probably should avoid. Like you probably shouldn't read a book in the morning. You probably shouldn't meditate. If you struggle waking up, you probably want to do action-filled things, right? You want to probably work out a little bit, maybe get a little jog in, stretch, like make breakfast. Just do active things if you really do struggle waking up, because it'll just automatically wake your body up. Being in the cold too might help wake you up. I've heard that warm showers kind of like help us like relax more, so that's why people take cold showers in the morning and ice baths and stuff. It helps keep us awake throughout the day and keep us more focused on what's going on. And I also heard it takes 21 days to build a habit, so you guys got to be doing this for a minute. All right, you guys can't be slacking every single day consecutively. You got to keep doing this if you want to make change in your life, not just for a month, for the year. That New Year's resolution is coming up, and we don't take it very seriously. Like a lot of us drop it throughout the year. I know I do personally, but I think this year I'm gonna take it really seriously. All right, we gotta stick to our routines. And if you ever need help, please come back to this video. Feel inspired. I've changed my life personally by doing this for myself. And then if you struggle sleeping at night, just one last point. If you struggle sleeping at night, I think working out through the day or doing physical exercise makes us feel more tired. Like our bodies are more tired, our minds more tired. So if you're like doing a lot of homework and studying throughout the day and you're working out, well, at the end of the day, you're gonna be able to sleep easier because you've exerted all this energy mentally, physically. So you're gonna be able to sleep really easily. But yeah, 6 to 8 hours, very optimal. I used to sleep for no hours. Not optimal. Don't do that. It's not good. Unless you're doing a YouTube challenge like I would, then maybe go ahead. But definitely sleep is extremely important. It got so bad when I was younger that I would be sitting in my 6th grade middle school literature class. We would be reading this like Talking Spirit Bear book, I think it was. Really interesting book. I fell asleep during it a lot, but we were doing reading time one time. Imagine I have my book out and this is the desk right here, right? The teacher was reading and we were following along and I was just like this, like, and then that's seriously what happened. I actually fell asleep. The teacher, she walks up next to me and she's like tapping me on the shoulders like, hello, like wake up, like it's time to wake up. I'm like, oh, what? So yeah, I would fall asleep in class. I would hallucinate Minecraft. I would hallucinate building these blocks. I would hallucinate fighting people with swords. Like, it got so bad. I think a lot of people in history have hallucinated things because of sleep, because they didn't know that it probably makes us hallucinate more. And so it really is a good thing to sleep more. Getting to that hallucination stage, it takes a minute. It's not just going to happen right away, but if you get there, you got to recover. It's a bad spot to be in. And less sleep overall just makes us have less like aware of our surroundings, makes us obviously feel more tired, makes us feel more restless, makes us feel like we don't have our full brain power if we're like always extremely tired. And that can also just bring on more stress, these bags under our eyes. It can bring on all those things. And no one wants to have this or have a lot of stress or anxiety. And so that's why it's just better to have sleep. Once you have sleep, that's one less thing to worry about. If you can consistently find in your schedule at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep, stick to a certain routine, not like 1 p.m. waking up and then 11 a.m. waking up and 5 a.m. waking up. Just try and stick to similar hours. That can really help our brains function better, have a better overall self-control of ourselves, and make a better lifestyle. And the last thing about sleep is you want to make sure that you're having good sleep, not bad sleep. Now, what do I mean by that? There's good sleep and bad sleep. So if we're falling asleep, completely stressed on our mind, and we had like, oh my gosh, I have to do this tomorrow. Like, how am I going to get this done? I can't sleep right now. I have to do this really quick. I just need to put this reminder. All of that is leading into you having a bad sleep. You're going to feel more restless when you wake up because, well, the night before you're thinking about all these things that you have to do. And it's not even like you're sleeping. You're just consistently worrying. And especially in your dream, if you're feeling anxiety or stress in your dreams, oh, it's over for you. You got to fix that ASAP, bro. If it's seeping into your dreams, that's how you know it's truly bad. But getting good sleep is just having clear thoughts in our head when we're falling asleep, not having anything to worry about, knowing that tomorrow's a new day, everything's gonna get done. That'll definitely help you in the long run too, getting that good sleep over bad sleep. And now my next point is gonna be procrastination. Let's go back to the start. What's making you procrastinate? Oh, your phone? Okay, well, if you're following the steps, we already got our phone handled with. Well, now you don't have any routine, so you're just procrastinating throughout the day. All right, now you got a routine set. Now you don't need to worry about that. Oh, but I'm not sleeping enough. Okay, fix your sleep schedule. And once you've planned everything out, you got to meet your deadlines. So the next thing in this whole process is to stop procrastinating. All throughout high school, all throughout my whole life, I've always been that straight A kid, right? My mom raised me to do like little spelling bees in my house when I was younger, or to do my times tables, or read Dr. Seuss. Just like all these things that I feel like contributed to me not even procrastinating, because I always had assignments due. My mom raised me to be that straight A student and to get everything done on time. And I got made fun of a lot in school for that, but don't worry about what other people say. Don't let that affect you, because at the end of the day, you're not going to know them after high school anyway, right? If they really didn't care about you, there's no point in like even remembering who they are. So yeah, I've always just been that straight A student, always getting my work done, and I personally never struggled with procrastination myself. I guess there's been points in my life where I just needed to get something done, but it's been more like YouTube. Schoolwork I've always been on top of, and I guess that started slacking now in college because, you know, you have so much more freedom, you have more free time, less classes. Everything just seems more like easygoing in college. But I procrastinate because I look at it like this, right? Okay, if I'm at home and my computer's at home, what's going to be the most important thing that I can't take my computer anywhere else with? Editing videos, like doing my YouTube stuff. That's the only thing I can really do on my computer, because I don't have that powerful like editing software and everything on my laptop. So what am I going to do when I'm home? I'm going to edit videos, right? And if that weren't the case, then I would obviously do my homework first. But now I've been finding that I do things a lot later, and it's not really procrastination. It's more of a sense of like it's like a hierarchy of all the things that I need to get done. And YouTube's probably going to be at the top always, above school, above everything. I want YouTube to be at the top. And it's going to go like YouTube, and then maybe schoolwork, and like hanging out with people, cleaning. I don't know the true ranking, but I know YouTube and homework are very close. But if I'm at home and my computer's at home, I'm gonna work on YouTube, bro. That's all I gotta do there. Say I'm at school and I got breaks in between my classes, that's when I'm gonna grind out my schoolwork. You know, so like, I guess finding times for yourself where I'm sorry that's been in the shot the whole time. Finding more times for yourself that will fit into your schedule more definitely is very helpful for us. But yeah, I know a lot of people definitely struggle with it. I had a lot of friends in high school that never did their work, always asking me for answers because everyone knows, I do my work, so everyone's got to come to me for the stuff, right? But if you struggle with it, I gotta get some Wawa.
Chug with you. We can be pro Fortnite gamers.
But if you struggle with it, I think once you plan out your days, you get more sleep, procrastination is going to happen a lot less. I'm pretty sure that only happens to people who aren't organized and have all these issues and struggles and anxiety, stress, everything coming together because of all the points I've already brought up. Once you fix all that, procrastination should hopefully go away or be less prominent. Procrastination, all it is doing is holding us back. And that's easy to say, right? Like, okay, obviously it's holding us back, but just think about it for a second. The sooner you get something done, the less you have to worry about it. If you need to completely focus on something, put it in a schedule, set yourself through these times and tell yourself, I'm getting this done by this day. No exceptions. If your friends ask to hang out, no. If you need to truly get better at procrastination, at least at the start, block out every other noise, completely focus on what needs to get done, and put it in a schedule and give yourself that deadline. When we give ourselves deadlines, that helps us meet them faster. So if something's due at the end of the week, instead of just saying, oh, I'm gonna do it at the end of the week, or it's only due at the end of the week, give yourself 5 hours throughout the day. If you're not done by then, I don't know what's wrong. Give yourself another day, but truly stick to a deadline. If you need to have that discipline and stick it in your brain to okay, I need to get this done. If you want to change procrastination, you have to set deadlines and you have to give yourself enough time to do it. Don't just wait till it's actually due. It's always better to have things done early, and it's like a job interview, You don't want to be that guy who shows up late or just on time. Just show up 5 minutes early. It's not that hard. Just an extra 5 minutes. And it's the same with procrastinating and getting your work done. Okay, it's due on Sunday, but let me just get it done by Friday, so I have the weekend. It's just it's all about how you have your schedule set up and what you need to get done throughout the week. Obviously, just rank what's most important, and okay, if it's due later in the week and you have something due that day, obviously work on what's due that day. But the next day, set yourself a time frame to do it. It's very important to just get it done with as soon as possible. And making those to-do lists too can really help us out. Whenever you actually do get something done, okay, here's a little check on the to-do list. That makes us feel a little more accomplished. It makes us feel like we can actually complete everything that's on our lists and everything like that. So I would recommend doing that too. This one's gonna be a very short topic. It's gonna be basically just put reminders. I'm such a forgetful person. There's been one time where I went to the beach with my friends one weekend, and I just completely forgot that I had this discussion due in my college economics class. This is when I was in high school, but I took college courses, so we had discussions every other week or every week. And this weekend I had a lot of work. I was doing tennis. And I had that trip on the weekend, and it was Labor Day weekend, so I'm chilling. I got 3-day weekend or whatever. I did all my work throughout that class. Basically, as soon as I found out when it was due, I did it all. And that discussion, I was all right, I have to think about it a little more, so I'm gonna hold it off for now. And I guess every day went by, I just kept forgetting about it. And keep in mind, this is the one of the first few weeks of class. I wasn't used to this routine yet. My friends and I go to the beach, and we're there the whole entire day. We basically don't get back till late at night. Who wants to go look at homework after a beach trip? Not me. I'm eating and I'm going to sleep. That's all I'm doing. And I wake up the next morning to find out I got a 59 in the class. My mind is oh, that doesn't happen to me. That never happens to me. And I swear I could never recover in that class after that. I was so mad at myself and at that stupid professor the whole year. I tried to tell her too, oh, I didn't feel comfortable sharing my discussion. I thought people were gonna hate on me. I tried bringing up some doggy excuse. And she was you need to submit it next time. Oh my God, this stupid professor. But anyways, that was definitely my fault too. I completely forgot about it. There was also this other time where it was my junior year, the beginning of a new semester. I had the same professor 2 semesters in a row, one for psychology, one for social psychology, and we hated her. No one in our class liked her. She was just a meanie poo-poo pants, and no one liked her at all. I wrote out this discussion that was completely just roasting her and saying cuss words, and the discussions are shared with the whole entire college class. The teacher can read them. And so I typed all that out, and I was haha, and then I showed one of my friends. I was dude, look what I just wrote. And he's oh, that's funny, and he submits it. you submitted something that you cannot delete off the website. Come on now. And I was like freaking out immediately. I was like, bro, I'm gonna get expelled out of this class, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then I was like, I emailed the teacher as soon as possible. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My little brother took my computer. Yeah, something stupid like that. And she was like, oh, don't even worry about it. It's fine. Like, I'll just take it down and upload a new one. I was like, whew. But yeah, just set reminders for yourself. It really saves us a lot. We don't realize how many things we forget. Because like I said earlier, you ever fall asleep or you're ever starting to fall asleep and you're just like, I gotta do that tomorrow. Just put reminders if that does happen. Or whenever you're setting out your weeks, put little reminders for very important things. Like if it's extremely important, I'm putting an alarm clock. Like it can be that little dun, 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 dun. I'm putting it on. Like, I don't care who hears it. I need to remember what's going on. That's really important because we forget a lot of things. It happens, you know? So just put reminders for yourself. You'll thank me later. And it can help us with like packing for trips, not forgetting ideas, doing schoolwork, anything really you can put a reminder for. I put reminders for like, go take out the trash or like go, just like anything really you can put a reminder for, and it'll help you out like severely. Even if it's just the smallest thing you have to remember, like take this pencil to school. I put one of those on my phone once and then I remembered to take it to school and it helped me out throughout the day. Like just put little reminders, find an app that notifies you and find something that's just a simple thing that you can do to help yourselves out more. Another big thing I got into with college starting is meal prepping. You gotta whip it up every once in a while, right? Now, if you're a college student like me, we're living like Squidward right now. We are living with spare change. I'm picking up every penny I see. I'm not even joking. Whenever I see a penny in public, I pick it up. Like genuinely, I could use that to like help myself pay for something. The point is, I'm down bad. We're down bad probably. And meal prepping can be extremely important, not just for saving money, saving time. Let's say, for me personally, I never used to meal prep at all. It's also because I lived in my parents' house. We always had food ready. And so I would come home from something and dinner would probably be ready. So yay for that. And when it wasn't, then I would just make like a sandwich or something. But now that I'm in college, I'm on my own. No one's cooking for me. I'm not going to DoorDash every day. I'm not going to like buy meal preps. So what I have to do is go to the store, buy certain things, and I buy it in bulk so I can make a lot of food in one day rather than spreading it out through all the days. For me, making a really good meal can take like 1 to 2 hours, just depending on like prepping vegetables, seasoning, like thawing, everything in the process, like 1 to 2 hours. So if I take one day to do 3 to 4 hours worth of cooking, rather than 7 days of 1 to 2 hours of cooking, ultimately saves me time. Ultimately, it makes me worry less. Another reason I started to meal prep was because whenever I would go to the store, I would just impulse buy. I would buy that pizza on the shelf. Yoink, I'm gonna need food for tonight. All right, that's easy to cook. Mac and cheese, oh, I'll take that. Sack a loaf of meat. Pause. I'm gonna take that right there. You know, I'm gonna just get whatever I think is necessary. Well, if you meal prep throughout the week, you know, okay, I have to eat this food or it's gonna go bad. Or I already have food at home, so I don't need to eat that. You know what I mean? It definitely helps us with more self-control and limiting ourselves on like everything we buy, the money we spend. It can help us with like calorie intakes. If you care more about that stuff, like protein, calorie intakes, you can log that on like certain apps, and it'll help you keep track of whatever you're eating more too, because then you know like what you're going to be eating throughout the week. And another reason why it's good to meal prep and can give you guys less stress and just make it easier when you're coming home is because then, let's say you come home from a 12-hour day of like school and work maybe, or you just get home really late, you wake up early. What's the first thing you want to do when you get home? Probably shower. But the second thing you want to do is eat something, right? If we don't have anything made, what are we going to do? We're going to spend like an hour worth of time cooking something for ourselves. And I'm not saying everyone does that. You can just always make a sandwich or something. But if you always want to come home to a good meal prep. That way, as soon as you get home, you have food. All you got to do is put it in the microwave and then it's ready. It's like Little Caesars. You got hot and ready right there. And it's cheap too, for most part. Because I found whenever I get home, like I just always want to eat something. So if I have something meal prepped already, well, I just go in the fridge real quick. I take it out, microwave it up real quick, and it's all ready. Like it takes a process of 5 minutes. It's super easy, super convenient. And it just makes me feel like I can wind down easier, especially if I don't have to waste that time, worry about what I'm going to eat. Like I just already know what I'm going to have to eat. Hey, and also you guys can listen to my podcast whenever you're cooking. I know I don't got that many episodes, but if you're whipping up some chicken or something, you gotta be listening to me. All right, I'm gonna help you guys out. I'm gonna give you that laughter. I'm gonna give you that deep thinking right there. I think the last reason I meal prep is because then I have to also spend less time cleaning it. If you're cooking every single day, you only have a certain amount of pans, a certain amount of Tupperware, silverware, right? So if you just do that all in one day, you don't need to like keep cleaning every single day of the week. Like as soon as you're done cooking, you can just do it at the end of whenever you're done making all your meals for the week. And meal prepping also doesn't have to be just once per week. You could do it like twice per week because, I mean, if you want new varieties of food, fresh foods, like more recent, then yeah, you should probably meal prep like 2 or 3 times a week. But at least you're not doing it like every single day is the good part. But definitely just like the cleaning aspect too could be annoying to like not have enough dishes ready or just have to clean up your whole area every single time you cook. And hold on, let me cook because this next point is about cleaning. Woo! All right, I led that perfectly into that. But yeah, cleaning our areas. Like, who wants to come home to a house that's infested with rats and cockroaches and dust? No one wants to do that. We want to come home to that meal prep made. We want to come home to that shower ready. We want to come home to nothing to worry about. Come home to that like clean environment. Very important, clean environment. I don't think we realize how dirty our spaces can get, especially if you're cooking. Working in fast food, I realized how much fast food employees don't care about like salmonella and like cross-contamination, right? I'm so sorry to tell you guys this, but basically every fast food place you work at, they're probably cross-contaminating raw meat. It's really bad. All right, In-N-Out is good though. All right, In-N-Out's good. It's because there's like that sense of urgency. Like all the bosses and managers, they're always like, get this done right now. Well, okay, you want us to professionally switch our gloves. You want us to properly put the meats on every single like grill space. You want us to wash off our hands in that same time, wash off our little utensil. That's not gonna happen. If we're in a rush, we gotta get the food out or else we're getting yelled at. So majority of the time we're cross-contaminating, we're mixing up raw meats and stuff. And that can really happen at our homes too, right? If you just grab a piece of meat for like a split second, you still contracted that bacteria in your fingers, in your hand. It doesn't matter. If you put that on the stove real quick and then you go touch something else, you just essentially infected that with bacteria. And then you forget about it, obviously, like, okay, I'll just get it later. Raw juice just drips down on a little piece of the countertop. Okay, you use a paper towel, just wipe it. That's you smearing it all over the counter. Like, it's a really like detrimental thing that we don't realize, and it probably doesn't do anything to us. It's like little increments, but just if you want to feel more clean in your environment and you want to have like healthier, safer eating habits or just an environment to live in general, taking time out of our week to just do a little bit of like weekly cleaning, a little bit of deep cleaning can be super beneficial. I used to never clean. My space is always super dirty. But getting into college more, it just made me feel like I need to keep my area clean. And that's something I always wanted to do in high school too. But it's just like, I'll just do it when I get to college. It's always my mindset. Like, I'll just do it when I get to college. I have my own space, no siblings to worry about. And it genuinely is easier to do without siblings and whenever you have your own space. So I definitely recommend just setting a time throughout the week to help clean after yourself. I feel like a dirty room automatically just gives us more anxiety, gives us more stress. Right? If you don't know where anything's at, like you're going to spend time looking for something, or you're going to see like spiders in the corner or like dust around the room. It's just going to bring like more stress. Like, oh man, now I got to clean my room or whatever. So I usually take Sunday to meal prep, to plan my weeks, and to clean. Yeah, usually my cleaning portion just takes like 2 to 3 hours at max. I go and I clean up all the kitchen, like the countertops. I reorganize everything in the fridge, the shelves. I clean out the fridge, microwave, and just make sure everything is clean because that'll set me up for the rest of the week. Like now I can go do everything without worrying about disgusting environment or having to clean something up. And then we move into my room. I make sure that all the laundry's done. I make sure that my room is dusted. I don't want to be like sitting in dust. I make sure I sweep the floors because under our bed gets extremely dirty. Unless you have a vacuum, it still gets dirty either way. Like carpet, hardwood, extremely dirty. So it's good to just like sweep under your bed, get like all the dust out of your room, off the floor. I also try to just reorganize everything in general once per week because then I don't stress about where stuff is at. I know where something's at every single week because I purposely reposition it back to where it needs to go. Like I move things throughout the week, and at the end of the week, I just need to put everything back so I remember where it's all at. It's not super crazy requests. It's just making sure that you have less. And I'm trying to take away all the stresses that could be caused in your life by just like little things that we don't think about. I don't need you guys to be turning into the Hoarder Show by TLC. Those people got it bad. Those people got it so bad. As soon as we're done cooking, just put all the dishes away real quick. Just clean up after yourself real quick, because then you don't have to worry about that at the end of the week. You also don't want to look super dirty if you have people coming over, right? You got your girl coming over in an hour, like, come on, make sure your area is clean, all right? She doesn't want to be living in that filthy mess when she's coming over. All right, you guys, I want you guys to feel nice and clean. Spray that Febreze, clean up your room, do everything you can, not just for other people, but for yourself, most importantly. And also, you know, you can listen to my podcast when you're cleaning. It doesn't need to be boring. You can make it entertaining. You can take little breaks, start your cleaning session too. But I think it'll genuinely help anybody who has a lot of stress in their life. Just make sure everything's clean. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Got that turkey on Thanksgiving. Yeah, that boy ain't kidding. Looking like a kitchen. Speaking about hoarders, let's talk about some self-control. Oof, perfect segue.
Nope.
Not really. But self-control can be the biggest stress inducer, honestly, for a lot of people. It's not just in the sense of buying stuff. It's more like spontaneously watching a movie, getting sucked into something like that, or hanging out with your friends, or just scrolling on TikTok. Self-control, that discipline, all going to be extremely important for reducing stress in your life and keeping yourself organized, becoming a better you. Let's talk about financial first. That's obviously the biggest issue for me, probably worrying about where my money's going. Having cash on you rather than a credit or a debit card, having physical cash. If you have a credit or debit card, you may know how much money you have beforehand. You may look really quickly, but that money can drain extremely fast. Just like that. What the hell? I didn't learn how to snap till I was like 3 years ago, so forget. I like flexing now, but it can happen like extremely fast. You can blow all your money just by misreading a price tag, or like, oh, I just buy that, I'll just buy one more thing, or anything like that. It can really drain our wallets extremely fast. So if you do really want to keep your debit card on you at all times, I guess it is good if you need extra money, but just having at least cash to spend and just being like, I'm done after this, that'll keep you saving money. That'll keep you only buying necessities. Shout out to my parents, honestly, because this is a really good strategy to do. I don't hear anybody else doing this, which is weird, but if you want to have a fallback plan, basically, for whenever you're out spending money, the lowest amount that you can have in your bank account at one time, just instead of thinking that's $0, set it to 200 and set that as your $0. If you have 200 in your checking, 200 in your saving, and let's say you have $300 in your checking account, and you have like 1,000 in your save, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you don't want to like transfer anything over to your checking. You're just like, yeah, I'll be fine. I have $300. Okay, you buy a little Xbox, $300, gone. You don't got any of that money anymore, and you instantly just go to $0. Rather, instead, you have that $200. Like, I cannot go below this. Whenever you're out shopping, you're gonna spend 100 maximum. And that's going to be hard to do at first, but if you truly put your minds to be like, this is $0, 200, I have $0, you're just going to think like, I can't spend more than 100. And that's going to help with not going over like your balance and not transferring money as much. If you just have that strict, I need to have this much at least. And that can be lower too. It doesn't have to be 200, maybe like 50 or 100, but it's like a little fallback plan just in case you desperately need to spend that money. Go ahead and spend it, but it's a little fallback plan to have. And I've been credited with spending my money really good, and that can be a bad thing because the first date I went on with my girlfriend, we went to a Wingstop, and it was after our homecoming game. I just thought we were going to be doing it fairly, equally. I thought we were going to be paying for ourselves respectfully. I've never been on a date before this. This is my first date ever, and I know guys are supposed to pay on the first date. Girls, don't click off, please. Like, I promise it gets better. I didn't pay for her. We just paid for ourselves, and I thought it was fine, honestly. I guess since day one, I've just been saving money. Like, I try not to spend a whole lot. There's been times in my life where I definitely do splurge a little bit, or I spend a little bit of money. But that's a great example of like, you know how down bad I am if I'm not paying for the first date or I'm picking up every penny I see. But something that helps me get into that mindset, and something I've realized a lot more recently, is would a person in a third world country need this? Okay, we tend to just go to the store and we see like a nice shirt, or we see like a really good food, and even though we have clothes at home, even though we have food at home, well, this would look nice on me, or this would taste good tonight. People in other countries don't have that option. And so if I put myself in that mindset of like, I'm restricted to what I have at home already, I don't need any more clothes, I don't need any of this, well, then I'm gonna think to myself that I don't need it. Like, I just don't need it, so I won't buy it. You know, I haven't bought a single pair of clothes in the past like 4 months. That may seem pretty normal to people, but look at what I'm wearing. All right, I'm wearing purple shorts, Pokemon Crocs, Donkey Kong shirt. And if that doesn't scream I'm homeless or poor, then I don't know what does. But just being okay with what we have already is such an important thing. And a lot of people in other countries don't even have the opportunity to spend that money. So whenever I don't know if it's a bad thing to like put myself in their mindset, but I guess just don't think about other people like that. Just think about like, do I genuinely need this? Is this food I need? Is this water I need? Is this like, maybe that'll help you save money, because that has definitely helped me save a lot of money. Like whenever I go out somewhere, I'm like, okay, I don't need to buy food. I have food at home. I'll just wait. Or I don't need that clothes. Like I have clothes at home. That's why I haven't bought clothes in like 4 months. So that can definitely help if you struggle with saving money. The reason we spend a lot of money when we're younger too, I'm gonna bring up some history real quick. So basically, whenever movie theaters were very prominent back in the day, like in the 1900s, they were extremely like important to go to, because it was like the first time ever we could see other humans on a screen like displayed in front of us. Everyone was just baffled by that idea at first, and they used to make a movie per week, basically. Like they used to, the same production studio would drop like a movie a week. It was like music. They'd be dropping every single week. And what do we have now? We have one movie a year, like per studio. That's because like the money has obviously increased so much, but whenever sound didn't exist, they were just like doing mime things. They weren't actually speaking, and so it was a lot easier to produce back then. Movies were just completely new to everyone back then. And that was really prominent for a very long time, until like television and radio came out. Then everyone's like, okay, well, we can see this at home now. But it was still like a little cool getaway for the weekend. But movies started to really like die out around like 1970s. Like everyone had TVs by then, and no one really wanted to go to the theater anymore, because you could just sit at home and watch TV. Theaters were getting expensive. What revived the movie theaters was when movies like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, like Transformers, like everything like that came out. Movie producers were smart. They targeted 12-year-old boys. They targeted younger boys. That sounds bad. Don't take that out of context. So that way, the younger audience, they don't have jobs. They don't have anything that like they need money for. So what are they going to do? The parents are going to pay for them to go see this movie. If the parents are paying for all the kids like in America basically to go to these theaters, then they're still paying for the theater basically, but it's just for little boys. And those boys, they would go watch the movie multiple times because they thought it was fun. So they needed a lot more money. And that's kind of what revived movies in a way. Like after like all these kids kept going to all these new movies, then adults started catching on to that. Like, oh, this is pretty cool. But at first it was those younger people that just kept coming back to the theater over and over again, kept spending their money on tickets, and that kind of revived the theater. Why did I just bring that up? Being in college has really taught me to spend money, just food, clothes, drink. It has just taught me to not splurge on things that I really don't need. When we're younger, a ton of brands, ton of companies capitalize on the fact that we don't have any money to spend for ourselves. We only ask our parents for the money. I mean, that couldn't be true for some people. Maybe some other people work for their money starting younger, but like take Fortnite, for example. Mom, can I use your credit card? Let me get 1,000 V-Bucks. You know, like Fortnite knows that the kids are doing this. You guys ever see those Wubble Bubble ads on YouTube, or on commercials when you were younger? Or like, Mom, can I have a Wubble Bubble? Can I have a pillow pet? Like, you know, they capitalize on kids not having money, so they take from their parents to pay for it. And so that's why I think we get into that bad habit of spending on whatever we want, because I don't know, a lot of us are not told no when we're younger. We can just buy whatever we want, and it's with our parents' money. We don't really need it to begin with when we're younger, so it's not seen as important to us. When we're older, like now we're in like college, some of us, or we're starting to realize like what we need money for, and it started to help me realize like breaking out of that cycle from when we're younger to actually spending money on what is genuinely needed rather than like something that can bring me materialistic excitement for just a little bit. And it also, the self-control also can apply to like situations. It doesn't have to be just financially. If your friends ask you to hang out on a Sunday night and your assignments due at 11:59, you have school tomorrow, like there's that balance definitely. Like you want to live in the moment, you want to hang out with your friends, but if you have that routine set up, if you're trying to build a schedule, what's going to be more important at the end of the day? Like your degree or whatever you're trying to chase, or just this time with your friends that you can get back another day? That's really up to you to decide. If you want to reduce stress though, if you want to just like worry less about everything you have to get done, put what you have prioritized first at the top of your list. Always keep that hierarchy the same. Don't change it for other people. And if you really truly need to get something done, just get it done, right? Your friends will understand. There will be plenty other opportunities to go hang out. They'll truly understand if it's important to you. And once you have everything you need to take care of, you plan out your week so you can fit some time in for your friends and to enjoy life. I'm not trying to get you guys to just be robots or hate life. There's a balance between everything in life. And once you find it, just take one thing at a time from this video and put it into your life. Try building one habit at a time, month by month, and try and make that your New Year's resolution maybe. Like, all right, this month I'm gonna work on sleeping better. This month I'm gonna work on this or whatever. Like, however long it takes you to develop that, try and take it slowly. Just hang out with your friends, definitely. Live in the moment, enjoy life, but plan that if you need to. Plan that if you're still having stress or you're not getting things done enough. And that leads me into mindset. A good mentality, a good mindset, infinitely reduce stress. I positively believe that every short-term emotion can be changed. And I don't know if that's a hot topic or not, but if you're sad, you can be happy. I truly believe you can genuinely change your mood just by certain actions in your mindset. Like a lot of people say, it's a bad day, not a bad life. And there's always people in worse situations than we are. You just have to go dig deep down to the true roots of what we are doing right now in our lives. Let's say you woke up late at the beginning of the day. If you can change your mindset from thinking like, this day is going to be horrible, I'm already super late to all my stuff, like I'm going to miss out on all this. If you can change that, if you can change your perception of reality, instead of that to looking at it from a different lens and being like, okay, at least I woke up today. At least I'm alive today. At least I still have the rest of the day to do everything I need to do. You can come back from like small things like that. Always. You can always come back. It's always about our perception on things. You don't need to be cranky. You don't need to be mad at people around you. Take out your anger at people around you just because you started off your day bad. You can change that. You can easily just change your perception on what's happening in life. It's like news. You can tune in and watch the bad news and you can be in a horrible mood. You can just hate life, or you can watch the good news and see positive things happening in the world. I'm not saying don't ignore what's happening in the bad parts, but focus on the good parts, right? That'll keep our mind more positive, bring us more happiness, bring us less anxiety, stress. I'm gonna say that a lot because basically everything I'm saying in this video is to make you happier, reduce stress, reduce anxiety, and bring yourselves a better life overall. So yeah, I believe short-term moods can be changed. I'm not saying if you're depressed, just get over it. I believe depression's real, and I'm not saying if you had a loss in the family, just get over it. Like grief, depression, horrible feelings, don't just get over it in a day. We need to truly take our emotions that are naturally caused, I would say, our family member passing or just depression, rather than like just a little mindset alteration. Like, so waking up early in the morning, it's a bad thing, but you can turn it into a good thing. Don't turn your grief into a good thing. Don't turn depression into a good thing. Let those feelings simmer out. Try and actively work on changing them, but definitely don't just like immediately get over it, because it's good to relieve our emotions every once in a while. But short-term wise, I believe it's beneficial and possible to change how we look on the world and be more positive with everything we do. Another example is like, I missed the bus. Okay, catch a ride. Okay, call an Uber. Go get on a scooter. Go walk over. Like, there's so many other options too if you miss out on an opportunity in life. That FOMO is definitely a very real thing. The fear of missing out. Everyone feels it all the time, but we can definitely avoid that a lot more if we just have backup plans. If we don't accept things at face value and just give up easily, we can change that by planning everything out. Like, everything I'm saying leads into each other. You got to apply all of these things together to have a good life and have less of that stress and anxiety. And if somebody's late, just be happy that they're there. Try and take the happiness out of all situations. Let's say that you're a sponge. Let's say you're SpongeBob. All right, you're SpongeBob. I say SpongeBob, not SpongeBob. SpongeBob. You're like a spiritual SpongeBob. You're absorbing all the energy that's around you. Sponges, they absorb anything. They can absorb like grease. They can absorb water. They absorb good and bad things. Let's say you're the sponge right now. You can absorb bad things and you can absorb good things, and you can either be bad or you can be good. And it depends on what you focus on, like what you truly put all your energy into. So you can absorb that bad energy and that good energy. Like, oh, my friend's late, at least they're here. You decide what is like the more prominent in your mindset right now, in your perception. Well, if you're just mad that they're late, you're going to be mad. But if you're happy that they're there, then you're going to have a happier mindset. And I believe that goes with a lot of different situations. Just be happier with the situation you're in. So many people have it worse than we do. Be more appreciative of what the world has to offer us. Every single day we wake up, every single day. You're very fortunate to be able to listen to this podcast right now, to watch the podcast right now, to be like in this moment right now is so fortunate. And not everyone can do this right now. Just take more appreciation for the things you have in life. We come home to a roof over our heads every morning, a bed, food, water, for the most part. I hope everyone does, but take it down to the smallest of things. Like, oh man, I have socks to wear today. You know, at least I don't have athlete's foot. Or like, this is the things that you can always appreciate in life that'll always make our moods better. Hey, I'm talking a lot about things that we need to do. And like, oh, I'm probably making it seem like this is extremely hard to do. There's a lot of physical and mental tolls that everything I'm saying will take on you guys. And obviously it'll help you out in the long run, but starting off, it will be hard. Take a rest day. I believe that rest days are so important in everybody's life. I know people like Mr. Beast and stuff, and very powerful and very rich people. They don't take a lot of rest days. I mean, they can't really. They have businesses to run and stuff. But if you're like me, if you're starting life off right now, you don't have a whole lot going on, take a rest day if possible. If you can find one day of the week, do the most minimal amount of effort and works in your life, especially physically, just take one day. And one day probably max, because you want to still be productive during the week. It's like vacationing every week for yourself, basically. Like sit at home, watch your favorite show, catch up on what you need to catch up on, and like just enjoy like what you're doing in the moment. Just enjoy that you have this rest day. And even if you can't take a full day, maybe incorporate this rest day with your cleaning, your meal prepping, your planning, because those things are all like relaxing and not really stress inducing. Completely unwind from the week you've had and get prepared for the next week. I think that's really important. That's like why we don't have school every day. That's like why normal jobs don't have work every day. We need that weekend to unwind. It's like working out. You can't work out 7 days a week, 100%. You just can't. Like, you can't do that. We have to take that rest day. And it's important. This is the most important part of the rest day. Don't worry about the outside world during this rest day. Don't worry about the outside noise that's going on. Don't worry about all your maybe upcoming like endeavors or tasks the next week. Just focus on enjoying what is happening right now. For a lot of people, this could be like meditating, writing a journal. I've seen so many different methods that you could do to unwind. I think for me personally, I just love to sit down, watch some YouTube, just watch a show, maybe read a book. Like all these relaxing activities can definitely be really important for our weeks, for our mindsets. And a lot of the things I've said so far are just only things that we can control. More self-love, better mindsets, like cleaning and stuff. Like we do a lot of this stuff alone, but don't live life alone. When you're lonely, you are just in your own thoughts and you can think for yourself without other people influencing your decisions and really truly have a clearer mindset. It's like monks. Like monks keep to themselves a lot. I feel like everyone needs that. We all need a little bit of our own self-reflection. We need our self-love. We need things that only we can provide for ourselves. But we also need that social aspect. I'm not saying go party every day. I'm not saying like all this crazy stuff. Just have friends you can talk to. It's good to talk about our stresses in life, because I believe that everybody can benefit from therapy, from telling people about your problems. Because what happens when you don't tell anybody? You bottle it all up and then you let it all go. Rah, rah. You let it all out. You can't bottle things up. A lot of people just walked by and looked at me. Whoops. I have the goofiest fit on right now. Having people you can talk to is super important, because we can't live life alone. We really can't. We need other people to talk to our problems about, to just hear other stories about, to feel more involved in the world. We need that. We don't want to seclude ourselves from people. At least in my opinion, we want to have other people in our life. So incorporate some time to hang out with your friends. Incorporate time to do leisure activities with friends and other people. Just do all that stuff and it'll help you guys out so much, rather than just being alone the whole process. And also having other people, if we tell them our goals and aspirations in life, they can help us stay on track to meet those things. If you want to go out and party, let's say, and you're about to tell your friends, like, oh, I want to go party, like, I have to do this, but I just want to party. Well, if you have good friends, they're going to be like, do what you need to do before you go out and do all this other stuff. They'll keep you in check. They'll keep you in line. And that'll be really important if you are truly trying to benefit from this video, which I assume you are. Have some friends to keep you in line, keep your friends in line, and just have that love between everybody that you are talking with, that you have in your life. Have love for yourself, have love for other people. Make sure that they have love for you too. And I think the last point I want to make, just have fun. You don't need to turn this whole thing into a boring process. You don't need to work every single day of your life. It's good to take a break every once in a while. We only get this time one time in our life. You're not going to gain this hour of you listening to this podcast back ever in your life. This time is gone. At least for the present moment, no time traveling. You're not gaining this time back. It is important that everything you do in your life, you take control over and you have the ultimate say in what's happening, why is this happening, what you're doing. Once you take steps from this video, slow steps, maybe there's other things that I didn't say, or maybe there's other things that you personally find to help you out, like working out or doing sports or anything like that, hobbies, anything like that. Find your niches, find what makes you less stressed out, find what makes you happier, brings you a better you. Find those things. And if it's something from this video, that's great. At the end of the day, whatever you're taking out from this video, whatever you're doing in your own personal time, have fun with it. Because we get this moment once in our life. And that's something I truly live by. You can ask like my girlfriend or anyone I live with, or anyone that I associate with. One of my biggest pet peeves is people that walk slow. I could have got there like 20 minutes ago. You guys are, I'm in traffic or people are walking slow. Like, get out of the way, bro. I'm trying to do things in life. Like, I got places to be. I'm trying to stick to this routine I got going. That can bring a lot of impatient people, or a lot of impatiency in ourselves, I guess, if that's a word. It is truly important to like do what you need to do. Have fun, live in the moment. If you can find a balance between everything I've said in this video, I know I'm kind of rambling now, but if you can find a real balance between everything I've included in this video, that is definitely going to help you out so much in the long run. And if maybe this video truly helps you, come back in like 6 months from now. Tell me if any of this has truly helped you at all. I want to truly hear if this has helped anybody, because before college, I didn't do like any of these things. And starting in college, it's truly changed my life, how much I'm getting done in life, and where I want to be in life. It's truly changed all those things. I feel like I'm a happier person now, and I just have more time for myself and all those fun things. So join the Discord down in the description. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment only if you enjoyed. I'm not trying to beg anyone who doesn't care about this. Only if you enjoyed, which I assume you do if you're here right now. Hit that subscribe button. We're growing. We're the start of our amazing journey. Follow the social medias. It's all in the link tree down below. But yeah, good night.
Hey, bro, watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet!